2018 had been a busy year for space agencies. They launched number of satellites and other oddities into space. The total list of launched objects is lengthy, so here are the 6 coolest objects that blasted spaceward in 2018 in our Amazing Science channel. In February, SpaceX launched its first Falcon Heavy rocket, lofting the craft from Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida. This powerful rocket carried the ultimate payload, a cherry red Tesla Roadster that had a mannequin dubbed Starman behind the wheel. Starman and the Tesla are now in an elliptical orbit around the Sun, and they recently passed beyond the outer bounds of Mars. Number 2. The Canopic Jar. In December, SpaceX launched a 24-karat gold canopic jar in the shape of Robert Henry Lawrence Jr., NASA's first African-American astronaut who got selected for Manned Orbiting Laboratory program. But Lawrence died in a jet crash less than 6 months later, meaning the 32-year-old never made it to space. For those who aren't ancient Egypt buffs, a canopic jar is a container that holds a mummified person's organs. To honor Lawrence, SpaceX shot his gold bust, along with more than 60 tiny satellites, into space atop the company's Falcon 9 rocket. The sculpture will circle the Earth for approximately 7 years in a Sun-synchronous orbit. Number 3. The Expanse. When the famous science fiction sci-fi show, The Expanse, was cancelled, its fans rallied to save it. To raise awareness, they launched a model of the Rocinante, nicknamed Rochi, a spaceship from the series. The Rochi model was attached to a balloon that lifted the ship up to nearly 110,700 feet (33,732 meters) above sea level. That's below the Kármán line, which, at 62 miles, is used to define the start of outer space in space treaties. But the Rochi model still reached great heights. Number 4. Space tourism. Virgin Galactic's space liner reached space, at least as defined by U.S. standards. Once the program is up and running, this spaceship, the VSS Unity suborbital space liner, will carry space tourists toward the heavens. There, they'll experience a few minutes of weightlessness and see Earth's curvature, all for $250,000 a ticket. On December 13, the VSS Unity reached 51.4 miles (82.8 kilometers) over the Mojave Desert in California. While this is below the Kármán line, it's above the 50-mile (80 kilometers) boundary that the U.S. Air Force uses to award astronaut wings. Number 5. Mars Lander. On May 5, NASA launched the Mars InSight, a rover that uses a seismometer (SEIS) to measure Mars quakes and gather more information about the red planet's geology. After zooming through space for months, InSight landed on November 26. Number 6. Chinese Space Station. As an honorary mention, here's an oddity that fell out of space this past year. In March, China's first space station, Tiangong-1, which means heavenly place, fell back to Earth in a fiery streak. China knew that Tiangong-1 was heading earthward, but scientists weren't exactly sure where it would land during its uncontrolled entry. The world breathed a collective sigh of relief when Tiangong-1 crashed into the South Pacific Ocean near American Samoa. Thanks for watching. See you on next video.